EMS desk to Helimed 56. Details for dispatch. Sporting incident in Netheravon. Details when ready, over.
Crikey. Seeing you come into my eye line and then hearing you say, you know, we're here, I'm Simon, I'm Claire, we're from the Hampshire and Isle of Wight Air Ambulance, I'm going to help you. Felt like I had a metaphorical hand holding on to me and leading me to a place of safety. I'll never forget those two people coming to help me, ever. Incredible people, and I am so grateful.
Michael, you alright?
No.
What's happened? Don't move.
Just hurt my back.
The jump that went wrong was my 379th skydive. I was going to try my new manoeuvre. Everything was set up for a perfect jump, which was going to be my last jump of that day. Unfortunately, the manoeuvre went wrong and I hit the ground. I would suggest at about 40 miles an hour. I can feel the coldness of the earth underneath me. And I didn't realise I was unconscious. At that point, the drop zone goes into emergency mode.
Need ambulance.
I suspect we may well do.
Okay.
What I heard come back was that they're going to be at least a few hours. Then I heard someone say, the air ambulance is flying overhead, and I thought, oh, thanks, you know, that's great. And then I heard them say, oh no, it's going away, it's not for us.
We were flying in the helicopter on the way back from a mission, and the radio call comes through to the back.
Our dispatch team asked us to attend this incident. Simon, the doctor I was with, took down the details.
And the next thing, it turned around and came back to us.
Importantly for us, we had to ensure that the aircraft that had been dropping the parachutist was nowhere around, that wasn't going to cause a danger to us. Ultimately, it looked like we were going to have to transport Michael to the hospital, so really we want to get the helicopter as close to that as possible in as safe a way as possible.
After what felt like 5 or 10 minutes, the pain started to hit me, and it was a pain that I've never felt before.
Claire and I immediately got our kit and went out to approach Michael. The first thing we noticed was Michael was in a huge amount of pain.
We could hear that as we walked to him, that he was screaming.
It wasn't in my back, the pain was down my leg, my left leg. I had numbness on my left leg when I first did it, and now I've got feeling again.
Okay.
It's probably just a bruise. But we couldn't see anything wrong with my leg. There didn't seem to be a problem. I now know that it was nerve damage, and it was the nerves dying in my leg.
One of the advantages that we had on that day was we could get to him quite so quickly, administer really strong pain relief, immobilise him, exclude other severe injuries, and get him to the major trauma centre.
We decided to fly Michael to the major trauma centre by helicopter. Two reasons for this really. It's a much smoother journey, and it meant that he was in the major trauma centre within an hour of injuring himself, which is fantastic.
I woke up in resus. I'm sure I'd been in and out of consciousness. There was maybe 3 or 4 sort of medical professionals stood around me. You know, because at this point I'd still been hoping that it was hopefully just a bruise and maybe I was over-egging it. But when someone says to you, your spine's exploded, you shouldn't be able to move your legs anymore, I start visualising a very different outcome. Just wondering what's going to happen next. And I lay there and I had tears rolling down my cheeks because he said, you will need major surgery. I was put on the emergency list. I think I was second in the line, and they performed surgery. My friends know me as someone that's always running and swimming and cycling and doing crazy endurance events. To have that taken away from me, I was thinking this is the rest of my life. This is my hobbies, my job. This could mean so many changes for me. My life would be entirely different.
Michael, you alright?
No,
What's happened? Don't move.
just hurt my back.
Okay.
I think I'm going to be alright.
Just gently move.
Let me get my helmet off.
They've said that I wouldn't be able to do anything significant for 9 to 12 months, and I didn't believe them to the day a year after my accident. I'm going to race Ironman Barcelona. I want to raise a little bit of money for the air ambulance whilst I do it. Just as a gesture, really. You can't repay that sort of thing. The Hampshire and Isle of Wight Air Ambulance, they are very much at the top of their game. They're the SAS of air ambulance people. I mean, Simon the doctor visited me when I was in hospital. He took the time and the effort just to come and say hello.
One of the great things about this job is the privilege we have into meeting patients after the incident.
It's really nice just to find out whether the diagnosis was correct, how the patient is doing, and get a chance to talk to them when they're not in agony, having the worst day of their life, but hopefully partly down the way to to progressing and improving.
The last time I saw Michael was on that field in Netheravon and then in the hospital as we took him in. It'll be an absolute delight to see him today and to see how well he's doing.
That's connecting with people, and that's something that not everyone can do. I am so grateful that I can still do the things that I was doing before. I find some things difficult still. Believe it or not, the hardest thing I do is put my socks on. But my 80% feels like a lot of people's 100%, and I think I'm going to get to 100%.